Welcome, I'm Bev Adams. I own an independent paper crafting business showcasing products from Stampin' Up. I made this cute card with products from Stampin' Up. I sell these products and also a few items to make crafting more convenient. I have the free detailed directions for this project on my website. I also have the links for the products that I used. You'll be able to just click the links for the products that you would like to be taken to my online store at Stampin' Up. You'll see where to find all of that at the end of this video, so don't worry about taking notes. It's time to put stamps, ink, and paper together. I used heart-shaped, and it comes as a bundle with the heart-shaped dies. Let me show you the dies. Really pretty. And there's also this little label die that we're gonna cut out for this project. I've already used these dies to cut the cardstock for this project. This is one of the items that you can get in the Sale-a-Bration catalog through the end of February. And if you order $120 of regularly priced items, you can choose this as one of your free items. All the things in this catalog you can get for free with an order. Most of them are with a $60 order. I'm also using the Spotlight on Nature's dies. And they got all off of my magnet sheet. So you get these kind of eyelet and some with these dashed lines. This is the largest dashed border die. The inks I'm using are Shy Shamrock and Melon Mambo. I will also be using the Rainbow Dots and the Baker's Twine 3-color pack. Also the Shy Shamrock ribbon. This is, they call this a bordered ribbon. And my cardstock, I've got a medium envelope, of course. I have a basic white card base. I did use the thick cardstock, and it's basic 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have 2 strips of this designer series paper. This paper is one of the online exclusives that you can get. It's called Marbled Elegance. And so it does have marbling on one side and then kind of a graphic print on the other side. It's got this gold foil, which is pretty. It's got a lot of the reds and pinks. And this is the one that I used, and it's got Melon Mambo and Pretty in Pink white, and it's also got Flirty Flamingo on it. So I've cut just 2 strips of that designer series paper, and we're gonna make it look like it's the whole piece, but it's 5 1/4 by 1. I've got glue on the back. Let me go ahead and put these on the card front. And I'm putting those with an 1/8 of an inch border on each side of the card front. These particular strips do not have the Flirty Flamingo in it. And they do have Real Red and Melon Mambo in it. So I'm going to put the Melon Mambo on here. The first card I made, I only used the Flirty Flamingo, and I found it needed a little bit of the Melon Mambo, or maybe even a Real Red. I used the Melon Mambo. And then I will be layering this here. And I have already cut out the Shy Shamrock. I've got the one die cuts these two itty bitty leaf shapes, and then these two, and I also cut a flirty flamingo flower. I'm going to stamp this heart shape in Shy Shamrock, and I'm actually layering this under the die that's the same shape. I'm working with the dogs at my feet again, and I also cannot see my silicone mat, which would be a good thing to have right now, but I'm putting teeny tiny dots around this die cut. I'm going to give it a minute or two to dry. If you want to be super careful, if you let this dry until the glue is clear, but I doubt that I will be waiting that long. And I will go ahead and put those glue dots on all these leaves. This glue is really strong. You don't need a lot of it. In fact, you really don't want a lot of this glue. If you put it on, especially these very narrow pieces, and you put a lot of glue, it's going to squish out. So that's why I sometimes will let it dry all the way. And I guess I should probably put some glue on my flirty flamingo flower as well. While I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to take a scrap of paper and use some Melon Mambo to stamp my greeting. And there are several greetings. My heart loves your heart. Thank you, just because I care. Hello. These will all fit on that little die cut. It also includes my thoughts of you are all heart-shaped. So if you wanted to use that one, you could stamp it right in the middle here without the banner. I'm going to want to tie the ribbons on the edge of this piece. So I want to go pretty much over to the left side of my cardstock. And I was able to do all of this die cutting with a mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. If you're going to use the largest of these dies, you will need the larger machine. But this worked out just fine for here. I do have both, but this is the one I can reach for and grab off my shelf really easily. And so I use this when I can. So again, I want to have quite a bit of white over on this side. And this, you can see that this glue is starting to turn. So I'll go ahead and put my wreath right over. So I want to start at the bottom of the heart and pretty much stay over that center line. And where you put these leaves is really up to you. I think I will put it basically the same area. So I'm going to, maybe I'll go off a little bit farther to show that that's a separate piece. And the little leaves I will put over here. And maybe I'll even go down this way with this one this time. And if you want to kind of fluff up these petals, kind of pretty. It's probably easier to do that when it's not glued on here. And for this piece, I am going to just glue this center, this side of it right now. I'm going to be putting some dimensionals under here, And so I want to put my ribbon on this side, and I find actually that it's easier to put the ribbon on when it's attached to something. But I am going to put 2 layers of dimensionals on this card. I usually stick to 1 layer because sometimes if you've got 2 layers, the post office wants to charge you extra for it. If you are planning to mail this, you might want to stick with 1 layer. And if I were doing that, I'd probably put this layer on flat directly onto the cardstock. And then I'm going to put this one on with dimensionals as well. And I did not take the time to poke all of the pieces off. It's pretty quick to do that. I do recommend that you poke those out before you take the backing off, because then you don't have to worry about them getting stuck on here. So I'm going to put this on my card. By the way, I am doing this for a workshop, so I'm trying to keep this a little bit more simple. You could certainly emboss this or stamp this or decorate this piece if you wanted to. I used my Evernote notebook to find what embellishments that I had in Flirty Flamingo. I love my notebook. It helps me craft and coordinate. So I want to tie this in a knot, just a half knot, and get just like, I don't even know, it's probably 2.5 inches of ribbon. And I'm just going to lay that here and then finish tying. Then I'm going to tie a knot over this. And I do want to pull this tight. And tie a bow. And fuss with it and get it as long as you want. I tend to like small bows. And then I'm going to want to put dimensionals under the end here. And so I'm going to use the little dimensionals. And I'm going to actually stack 2 of them together. So I'm going to take the top off of one of these, or the backing off, stack it up, and put that under that label. At the very end. And so that can hold down to here, because this is actually doing 2 levels here. And on the inside, I am going to do a little bit of stamping. I'm going to stamp in Melon Mambo these flowers. In the corner. I don't know if you can hear the dogs snoring. They are not being quiet today. That's Bud. And you could certainly do that same thing on the envelope, and maybe I'll go ahead and do that. You could also do a whole row of flowers across the back of the envelope flap. And one more thing I want to do is add a rainbow dot, because this also comes in Flirty Flamingo. So I will put this one, this is one of the larger ones, right in the middle. So here it is with a small rainbow dot and one with a big one, and some hitchhiking dimensionals. And happy Valentine's Day. Here is the web address where you'll find the free detailed directions and links for the products I used. I also offer lots of resources on my website. Click Shop to see the online exclusives, clearance items, my frequent shopper points, and the products I offer to make crafting more convenient. That includes a cardstock sampler for all the current Stampin' Up! Cardstock and samplers for the Stampin' Up! Cardstock going all the way back to 1997. Click Inspiration to scroll my projects. You'll find the directions and images all the way back to 2011. You may also want to check out the Basics button where I share about stamps, ink, and paper, card cutting bases and layers, and some of my favorite tools. Click Getting Organized to find lots of free resources like case inserts, labels for just about every product, catalog tabs, color tools, and much more. More organization means more time for crafting. Click Evernote Current Products to learn how you can share my Evernote notebooks. The Current Products Notebook allows you to search every item by name, number, type of product like stamps, designer series paper, tools, themes like birthday, friend, baby, masculine, and even individual words. I also share a notebook with retired products going back to about 2015, and there's lots more that are older than that. Click Stamp Together if you're in Ventura County and come stamp at my house. You can also join my team if you're anywhere in the United States. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel and also to my website so you don't miss a thing. Thank you so very much for watching. Bye.